Thank you so much. Our next speaker we have is Linda Hansen. Linda is the CEO and co-founder and founder of Dual Inc., the innovation of fun, dual, and gamified online fundraising platform derived from her PhD studies PhD studies on the neurochemical and psychological motivational system of human in both positive and negative directions. She also found there was a lack of innovation in the online fundraising sector and development fund dual and is full to address this needs and also to capitalize on the motivational reward system in humans to get involved in fundraising money and awareness for good causes. The platform motivates engagement through fun, competitive, winning prizes, challenges, social media, sharing selfies and videos, etc. I mean, this sounds like I am ready for this because coming from a 501c3, we need this. So Linda, you have the platform.
Yay, thank you so much. I'm so excited, thrilled. I'm sure by now all of you have presentation fatigue. And I want you to know that the keys to motivation are really important. And there's going to be some powerful things that you're going to learn about what my daughter and I created and the motivational system of humans and how to motivate yourself, how to motivate others. So don't go away, stick with me, and we're gonna make this a little bit fun. I'm gonna make this interactive. I'm really interested in gamifying things. So while I pull up my presentation, I want you to go get a piece of paper and a pen. And we're gonna play a little game, and I'm gonna ask you 10 questions, and you're gonna answer them, and then you have the capability of winning an amazing prize in a drawing. So this is going to be fun, as interactive as we can. So thank you, Booker, for allowing these amazing women to showcase what they know and what they've learned. And I want to do that now. So everyone go get a piece of paper and a pen and write your name at the top and put your email address very legibly at the top of that. And while we're doing this, I'm going to pull up my presentation. So here we go. Why does motivation matters? Get ready to slay it and change the world for good. At the end of the day, we all want to do something good for the world. We want to have a legacy. And hopefully you can all see this. So at the end of your life, I asked you a question. What do you want people to say about your legacy? It's not going to be about your 401k or your the stock portfolio you have, or how many followers you have. At the end of your life, people will remember you for the relationships that you had, the character that you have, and the legacy of giving, creating, and serving, giving something back to the world. I want you to know that one of my biggest heroes is Booker T. Washington Sr., the great-grandfather of Booker T. Washington, who I want to thank for putting this amazing conference together, championing women and giving them something so wonderful. And he has an amazing legacy. His great-grandfather, Booker T. Washington, was born into slavery. And he knew that education, when he was freed, was one of the most important things. Please read his autobiography, Booker T. Washington. He championed education, and when he received his education through a lot of hardship and overcoming every obstacle that you can imagine, he was able to then start the Tuskegee University, which was able to educate many, many people. So I highly recommend that. He had a legacy that he not only accomplished his dreams and goals, but then he shared those dreams and goals with others. And I think that that's what creates a wonderful, amazing person. So now that you have your pieces of paper and your pen, I want to just tell you a little bit about my background. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had a resort where in the summers, I was able to work with my children. So I think that being a successful mother and spending time with your children is really important. After most of my children were raised, I got a master's degree at the University of Denver, and I was an anthropologist, and I studied utopian visions. And then for my doctorate, which I then got into, it took 7 years to accomplish at the University of Denver and the Iliff School of Theology. I studied the neurochemical and psychological motivation system of humans. And what I found is that I was really particularly interested in the attraction to violence. And I wondered if we could actually become addicted to violence. And it actually is true. Humans can become addicted to violence. And that's why video games have a lot of violent content, and so do movies. So we physiologically get a neurochemical jolt, heightened intensity of emotions and epinephrine and adrenaline. We can also become very addicted to social media. I'm very worried about our young people. They are very much on their phones, constantly looking for how many likes they get. And so social media can have some very harmful effects, and it can be very addictive. You may find at the end of the day that you look at how many likes you have from a post that you created. And so that's a very normal thing, but it's also very addictive. What I also learned is that humans can be addicted to really good things. The mammalian hormone that women have more of is oxytocin. And that is a bonding neurochemical. And it creates a real rush of good hormones that actually can be addictive. And so connecting with others, serving others can be actually really rewarding and motivating. In addition to that, there's a thing called synesthesia. And it's when we go to a festival or we get overwhelmed by a lot of color. All our senses are overwhelmed, and it can be very powerful and it can be very motivating. And that's why celebrations are so wonderful. So when you go into a business that has really great senses and has wonderful color, you want to be there. So make your homes and your businesses filled with everything that evokes the senses, including music. Music, creative arts is very, very motivating and very positive. And then we have sports, and sports can actually be very, very motivating. That's why they're so popular. When you work together with a team, team-based competition is very, very powerful. It bonds people together. There's actually a thing called the tennis flop, and people can become so overjoyed and so overwhelmed with emotions that they won, that they actually collapse. And you have this also, when teams win, they just jump for joy. And so these are very, very motivating things. Winning prizes is also very, very motivating. So I'm trying to motivate you by allowing you to have a prize by listening to this presentation. Also, humor is really wonderful. Surprising elements actually give us a neurochemical rush. So have some humor in your workplace, have some humor in your home, do some surprising things, break it up, make life fun in your workplace and your relationships. It's very, very powerful. And so the question that I ask, and now I'm going to get to our game, is how can you incorporate into your life and your business the powerful, positive human motivational system that shifts to positive inputs, responses, emotions, outcomes? I'm just going to give you a few ideas. Apple created this amazing natural landscape around their workplace, and they created an environment that was very enjoyable and rewarding and it motivates people to work there. In addition to that, positive bonuses are much better than demotions. Positive rewards motivate people much, much more than negative. You can make a game out of things. My daughter actually, had her kids clean up some toys, and instead of saying, if you don't clean up your toys, I'm going to take one of those toys away, she said, no, let's have an Easter egg hunt and let's pretend that these toys are Easter eggs. So she made a game out of it. People love to be rewarded by positive things and have some fun while we're doing that. And we always need to thank people for the good job that they're doing. Gratitude is something that is scarce in many workplaces. Teamwork, allow everyone to participate, join together and have fun. And one of the most motivating things is connections and helping others. So here's the game we're going to go to. Gamifying things is what I have done to fundraising, and making things fun is really important. And if you don't create fun in your workplace or in your home, then change it. Have a fun game with your kids or your workplace. So now I've asked you to take out a piece of paper and answer some questions throughout this presentation. At the end, I would like for you to take a photo of your piece of paper, and hopefully it'll be legible, and you can send it to linda@funduel.com. The prize, I'm going to have a drawing, and when you send these to me, I'm going to have a drawing, and it will be within the next 30 days. And someone will win VIP tickets to the Nelson Mandela Global Charity Concert in 2023, which will include backstage passes. Why can I offer that? My daughter and I had a very remarkable opportunity to get to know the Mandela family and the great-grandson of Nelson Mandela. And they have offered us the opportunity to put this concert together with really wonderful producers. And so that's why we can offer these to you. So the first question that I have, and you write down number 1 on your piece of paper, and there are no right or wrong answers, but just guesses. And I just want you to guess. So how many years did Nelson Mandela spend in prison? And the second question is, in what year was he released? So while you're writing the answer down that you think is the right answer, I want you to tell you that the opportunity that my husband and I and my daughter have had to reignite the message of Nelson Mandela has been one of the most remarkable opportunities of my life. We know Chief Nkosi Mandla Mandela very well, and he has offered us the opportunity to reignite the message of Nelson Mandela. He's one of the most inspirational leaders, and I want you to know that when you move toward doing something good for the world, doors open, and this was a remarkable door that opened for us. The answer to that question is 27 years. Nelson Mandela was in prison 27 years. Now I'm giving you the answers, but that's okay. This is just about having some fun together. He also was released from prison in February 11th, 1990. What he did with his life after that, and the forgiveness that he had, and the character that he exhibited, is what makes him such a leader. And he had so many philanthropic initiatives, and that's what we're going to be doing with this concert. We will probably be raising $50 to $100 million for charities all over the world. And this is all because my daughter and I decided to create a fundraising platform that was fun and gamified. So question number 3, who would you want to be the headliner at the concert? Now, there's no right or wrong to this. This just helps us to know a little bit more about what we should bring to this concert. And Beyonce or Bono? And actually, both of them have very close ties to Mandla Mandela. And so this is an example of how you can use a game to get really great information from your clients. So surveys are really fun, and this is really kind of a survey. Number 4, Would you want the concert to be at Wembley Stadium in London or Hyde Park in London? So those are our options, and that's what we're looking at. So there's no right or wrong answers, but just put down your answers and it will be helpful to us. So my daughter and I created FunDuel, and it's a gamified fundraising platform. What's interesting is that for 10 years, there's been no new fundraising platform that has been innovated. GoFundMe, Kickstarter, Indiegogo are all 10 years old. The innovation in the fundraising sector has been really limited, and it's really kind of fascinating. But what we wanted to do is create a fun, quirky, challenge-based. I mean, you can't imagine a sumo doing a challenge, but raising money on that. And it's been very, very successful. We just launched a couple years ago, and we worked with St. Jude Research Hospital and charities all around the world. And so question number 5 is, what is the most powerful motivator? And so what motivates people the most? Humor, competition. So write down what you think. Video and photo-based challenges, creativity, collaboration, winning prizes, social media sharing, or altruism. And write down your answer. And then, unfortunately, we really don't know what motivates people the most out of all of those, but those are all positive motivators. And together, if you can combine all of those things into your business or your home or your relationships, you'll have so much more satisfaction and success. And in the past, these are a couple FunDuels that we've done with Disney and another possible. This one never happened, but in the past, the giving industry was really sort of, it was for the really rich people. It was a very exclusive privilege. So the gala dinners, the golf tournaments, those were all for the rich people. And a $460 billion giving industry was really dominated by wealthy people. What the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge proved is that when you get the masses involved, the people involved in a fun video and photo-based challenge, you can raise $115 million in just 2.5 months. So we created challenges where you could dress up like any of these Disney characters and then raise money for Wounded Warrior. So, and then my last question, I forgot. The last question is, what is democratization? And how important is democratization? That's a word that we hear a lot in business now. And YouTube is kind of the biggest, greatest example of democratization. The record industry used to be a very exclusive industry that was only reserved to those that could go to the record companies and record their music if they knew somebody in that industry. What YouTube did is they created a platform where everyone could create their own content and put it out to the world. And that was magnificent. And so that's what we've done at FunDuel, is we're democratizing fundraising by allowing everybody to get involved in a fun challenge. And question number 7, what is trans-organizational collaboration? So you can kind of think about that for a minute. It's probably pretty obvious, and not giving you probably enough time to write your answers. Trans-organizational collaboration is where we all solve problems together. And what we wanted to do with our platform is make our platform a hub where we could include everybody, the high-end people, corporate, celebrities, media, governments, NGOs, charities, and then everybody, the masses, to get together and solve problems together. And we have some global campaigns that are really going to be amazing, including different countries, people from all over the world. And of course, when you have a fun video and photo-based challenge, you get everyone involved. So question number 8, can competition between corporations offer more than a dog-eat-dog outcome? In the past, it's always been competition is very powerful. It makes people better. but sometimes it comes at the cost of others, dominating others. But actually, partnerships are really wonderful. And what we found at FunDuel is we did this campaign where we had all these different corporations in Phoenix, Arizona, do a competition to raise money for the Arizona Burn Center. And we raised $220,000 in just 3 weeks. And actually, it was actually mostly in one night. And we did a live stream. But it's really fascinating to see how Tito's Handmade Vodka and these different law offices were able to compete with each other, include their employee bases, and raise money for a good cause. And this is competition, but it's also working together to do good. So you can compete and still have fun at doing good. One of the things that we're most proud of is that we've really taken the selfie and created it where you actually like a photo by donating and sharing on social media. That's where you're not thinking about yourself when you're posting, but you're actually thinking about somebody else. And that's very, very powerful. And so really fostering altruism and compassion is more important than getting lots of likes and being narcissistic. And what we've created also creates a lot of eyeballs. A lot of people see these from all over the world. I think there was a question I was supposed to ask. Let's see. What is the hormone that is released when we connect on social media or watch video that connects us emotionally with others? So if you can remember that hormone, I mentioned it earlier in this presentation, and just write it down and see if you're right. I'll give you just a couple seconds. So that hormone is called oxytocin. And oxytocin is one of the most powerful, rewarding, motivating neurochemicals that we have. There's also something spiritual inside each one of us that we want to connect, we want to love, and we want to serve. And by helping others, we have more rewards than if we just help ourselves. So altruism is really, really powerful. The last thing that I wanted to share with you that we've created at FunDuel is that video is very, very powerful. 90% of our communication these days is all about video. And so when you communicate with your business or whatever you're doing, hopefully you're doing it with video. And I'm just going to look at my time real quick. So I'm almost out of time, but just look at this, just part of this video. This was one of the first campaigns that we did for Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh. And this video was created to show the impact that this campaign that we created did for children that were Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh. And later in this video, it shows kind of the outcome of what we did. And we were able to give food, clean water, medical care. And this video is very emotional and powerful. And just seeing the faces of these young children that were impacted is really, really wonderful. So remember that video is really the wave of the future. Last question. Can we create a metaverse for good? And do you want to be part of it? And that is what we are doing with FunDuel. We are taking FunDuel into a new site called Paradisium, and it's a metaverse for good. And initially, we're going to have a Nelson Mandela experience where you can actually talk to him and ask him questions. And if you're interested in being part of this Paradisium, please meet with me and during this breakout session, and we can talk about that or any other good project that you want to work on. And remember to take a photo of your answers to the questions that you just did. Email a photo of it, and here is my email. And there, or you can text me at 310-819-5687, linda@funduel.com. Remember, it's 2 Ds, FUNDDUEL.com. And remember that we got to have fun in life. We got to make this a beautiful journey and bring a lot of people along with us and share our knowledge with others. And I thank you so much for your time. And I can hardly wait to have one of you come to us to the Nelson Mandela Global Concert. So send those to that phone number there and my email address. And thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Linda, for that wonderful presentation. That states, hey, you know, we need to have color in our lives and positive affirmations in our lives as well. So thank you so much for that for those wonderful words.